I was the security manager. My job was to take my guys and get them trained. I had lawyers come in, I had judges come in, and I had police officers come in. And one of the first ones I did when I took over, I had gang task force came in. The town that I was at, Visalia, California, we had 200 plus gangs in that town of 3,000 people at the time. Right now it's up to about 9,000. So this is back in '94 when I was the security director for California. What town? Visalia, California, Tulare County. So, and mine was the Sequoia Mall, then I was the one with the Visalia Mall. So it was both malls. But anyway, so I was watching YouTube the other day, and these guys I was listening to were saying that if something happened, right, in your little village, your little town, your little cul-de-sac, your street, people are going to probably come to you because why? They know what you do. You might not think you do, but they do. They're going to come for you for help. Okay, so what are you going to do? You're going to start putting in the work, right? If they come to you for help, they want you to feed them because you do have some food. You probably want to go ahead and put them to work. Then later on, you have a good sized community. Next thing you know, you're going to have people that are coming out of town coming in, right? And this is where my idea came in. Gangs. Okay? Gangs will lie to you, steal from you, take anything you have from you, right? One way you figure out what a gang member is by tattoos. Some of us have them. They tell a story, right? Mine, I have Knight Templars across my shoulder, across my back. Why? Because I like the Knight Templars. This right here is Psalms 144. You guys don't know what that is? Blessed be the Lord that teaches my hand for war and my fingers to fight. Okay? I have a skull here. Why? Because if you're going to fight, you're going to come to death. Then I had a Confederate soldier here. I got this when I was in Florida. It was me saying that I am a Confederate. I believe my state over my country at any time. And then my nickname that my grandfather gave me, Bam Bam. Well, at the age of 5 years old, I was able to get behind the TV and push it. So I was a pretty strong little kid at that time. So, all right, let's go about gangs. I got some pictures off of Pinterest, and we're going to just start with, all right, this guy right here. Can anybody try to take a guess what kind of gang member he is? If you guys can see it. Do I need to turn the lights down?
It's like MS-13.
Yeah.
How do you know MS-13?
All right. Right here, that's an M, and that's the S right there, tattooed. This is actually in a prison in Mexico. This right here, he's showing MS-13. Guys that are in prison for a very, very long time put tattoos on the face because they're not getting out, but they want to be marked. They want to know who he stands for. Okay. Other marks that you can look is on his arms, on his chest, and you see the teardrop right here.
Yeah.
It means a couple of things. He's got one on the right and one on the left. One means that he killed somebody, and the other one means that a friend or a close family member was murdered by another gang member. So that's where you get. Doesn't matter which side. So, but that's what it shows. So that actor tells me that he's killed somebody and he had a loved one that died. Spider marks means prison time, and they're always going to have little marks right up in here with women. There's a cross right here because they do think that they're Catholics. They believe in God. They believe in Jesus. But when it comes to their gang is number one, Christ is number two. Okay? So let's go to the next one. All right. Okay, now these two guys right here. This right here is probably a California prison because of the fact that they're wearing sweats. My brother's the correction officer for Corcoran, and this is pretty much how he says that they wear tennis shoes, sweatpants. All right, again, South Side, M and S is on the forearms, so you already know who they are, right? MS-13. Now, on the street, this guy right here could be a Northaniel, this guy right here could be a Centennial. That's across like the borderline. If you live on the north or the south side of town, or the north town, the other side of the town, that's where they get their gang marks. They're cut off, right? And these guys would fight on the street. But if they're in prison and they come MS, because there's no Norte or Serranos in prison, they're all one gang, right? Mm-hmm. So now they drop the north side and the south side and they come one gang. That's why they're so strong. MS-13 is the strongest gang in prisons. They have the money, they got the drugs, they have all the pull. Okay? So again, they'll have their nicknames somewhere on here. This guy's got a lipstick right there.
One on his chest.
And one, yeah, so right there.
Does that mean something or just?
It means that he likes women. Now, if you want to know a little bit more, if you see a guy like this and he's got a picture of a girl on his back, right?
Yeah.
He's the hoe for the gang.
Oh. Okay?
So I'll make it simple. So if he has a tattoo on the back, and there'd be a girl in I don't know what they're called, Dave. This hats, Ciano or
Not sure.
Big ones. Oh, if you want, go ahead, Chris. All right. Gangs do not stop just with men. These ladies right here are gang members. Now, back in the day, the women would carry the guns, the knives for the men, because officers back in that time really didn't pat down women. Only if they had another female woman on duty. They had a female, they would have them pat down, because there's just too much to do it. You can do like a quick pat down, like to make sure, but you cannot test this. It's just a whole mess. But anyway, they would put the knives and the guns and the bras between their legs and the hats. But here's another little secret. To get into a gang, there's one way, beat in, and there's another way, beat out. So you'll actually, if you want to become a gang member, you have to fight 3 or 4 guys for at least a couple minutes. For women, it's beat in or sexed in. So if they're sexed in, that means they're the hoe for the whole gang. So they go to guy to guy to guy to guy until somebody falls in love with them maybe, and he has to fight for him to get him underneath his wing. Okay. Another interesting thing about gangs, let's say that this girl right here, dad, mother, are in a gang, right? She's automatically a member. She doesn't get beat in, beat out. She's automatically a member. It's family. Little thing. Any questions about this? Mm-hmm. No? Go ahead, Chris.
Just we forgot. They killed him too.
Huh?
They killed him for the homicide. We forgot that thing.
Killing. I can't hear what you say.
Killing.
Killing.
Oh, killing. Yeah.
Yeah. Beat in or killing.
Yeah. So that's how it is. And I know a lot of this because the fact, just not because of that, but I have a brother-in-law who's MS-13.
Oh, really?
Yeah. All right, here's another good guy right here. We'll call him Pedro. Pedro has MS-13. His face is all tapped up. He's got the cross here. So again, if you see somebody like this,
shoot him.
Pretty much. Serious. If it's that bad out there,
yeah,
you know, you're going to have to make up your own mind who you let in your group or not. Okay, but I'm going to try to pull this out for another couple of months about how to check people and you know.
You're probably not going to let him in the Missouri militia or anything.
No, I wouldn't. Not even as a gopher. Not even as a scout. I don't know.
Fodder.
Yeah.
Betrayed in a heartbeat.
Yeah. All right. Next one. All right, again, here's some more MS-13. Again, there's the hand signal for MS. You got MS here, and a lot of them will have Mexican symbols like the tattoo, the clowns. This right here is the Mexican flag, I do believe. So again, there's the symbol right there is 13.
What does MS-13 stand for?
Mexican Mafia.
The name is Mara Salvatrucha.
There you go, Dave.
Okay, so the guy Salvatrucha, that's the S.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, these guys come from El Salvador, Mexico. These are the guys that have already penetrated the borders, per se, a long time ago. These guys are in, but they don't have, you will not see them with tattoos below their elbows. They'll all be right up in here on the back, not on their faces. Why? Because they want to mix in with everybody. So if you did have some guy come up and say, hey, I'd like to join your group, I know how to do this and that, I would say, all right, are you ever belonged to a gang before? If he says no, take your shirt off. Because the tattoos would be here. And if he wants to join you, he'll do it. Okay? Any questions about this? They're young too, guys, I'm not lying. I took a machete off of a 12-year-old boy that another gang member was trying to kill him. He didn't go to school that day. He hid out in my mall. I saw him, I brought him in, called the truant officer, and he was all sitting back like this. I go, sit up. He goes, no, I don't want to. I said, sit up. No, I don't want to. So I said, all right, stand up against the wall. So I get him up against the wall, and I'm patting him down, and I go, oh, shit. And I face planted him right up against the wall, okay? But he had that machete because the guy was, another member said he was going to kill him today. So, all right, next. All right, M4. This is the Nortes, all right? So go ahead to the next one. All right, now we're going to go into a different set of groups. Anybody can tell what this guy is?
Neo-Nazis.
Skinhead. Yeah, swastika right there, skinhead written across his face. This guy's a lifer. I mean, you just, little things you want to see too will be lightning bolts on their bodies. Thor is another one. Ready to get to the next one. All right, this guy. Everybody take a guess?
MS-13.
MS-13, right there. Teardrop.
Mm-hmm.
He's a pretty big boy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any questions? There you go. Another 13. Their tags will be the same way. 13. All right. Here you go. These guys right here. This is what they look like on the street. This is what I'm used to in California. All right. And I do see these guys here. Last Christmas, we went to the mall, did some Christmas shopping. I was like, holy crap! Spotted 10 of them walking around.
The whites were only about 25% at the mall. I was at the December 24th, and the whites were about 25%.
Yeah. All right. Again, you see they're shooting hand signals. He's drinking a cold one there. He's got a cold one. The feet is another symbol, like he's cool. He's got the cross. All right, next one. All right, now we're going to go to a different one. My first day in Missouri, I came in here in 09. Driving through Springfield, I saw a black kid walking down the street with this red bandana hanging out of his back pocket. I was like, oh man, here too?
Yeah.
All right. Black gangs. They're split up the same way. East side, south side. All right. This right here is Nortes. They're in red. Let's go back to the color. MS-13 don't really have a color. But if it's the south side, it's the Serranos, they're going to be blue. Okay? Nortes are in red. And that's how you figure them out. Because they always have these colors on them. Always, somewhere. On the belt, on their shoelaces, wearing on a hat. They'll have that color on them. and brown. They also carry brown, because brown is part of brown pride. And so the blacks will wear a brown bandana too. All right, next one. All right, now we're gonna go to, this gang right here is in Chicago, New York, New Jersey, and they're trying to work their way down. The Latin Kings. The Latin Kings are Latin, but they also will bring in the blacks. So they're an interracial group, okay? Their colors are yellow and purple. And this right here is the king. What's that?
My wife and I, our high school colors were purple and gold.
Yeah, so is my brother's. He's from Lamar, California, and they're purple and gold. All right, go ahead, next one. Here's some more Latin Kings. See the colors? Black. They use black, purple. All right, next one. Here's a little bit more. Here's some of their tattoos, their symbols. There's the kings. Females are also involved. These guys are really getting a name for themselves. They do use machetes, and they will cut you. They will chop you up in little pieces. Okay, the name of the game here is money. How are you going to get your money? Through robbing, stealing, drugs. Any questions about this? But I only pulled out so many of them, and there's a lot of them. Okay, let's go with this. Go ahead into the next one real quick, see what pops up. Okay, anybody know what this guy is? He's wearing blue.
Southside.
Southside. Cianro. You see his face right there, tattooed. He's probably named Joker because of the right there on his face.
He's
All right.
got tats down below his elbows.
Yeah, he does.
I thought they normally
That's
did.
prison time.
That's prison. If you
Okay.
do massive prison time, I'm talking about 20 years,
Okay.
Dan, you're going to have that on
Okay.
the face and below, because he cannot. It's what he does inside the prison and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not an actual expert. I just know how to read the markings on them, and I'm just trying to pass a little bit of knowledge that I have.
What are those hand signals supposed to mean?
Okay. That's, which one's that one? How could I tell you?
I think it's bite me.
I don't know.
It's probably not ASL.
No,
No.
no. I'll do some more research about that so I can get you guys some hand signals. It's usually,
Where you're from, who you represent.
right. And it's also, if like this guy's a Sereno, they'll say, okay, what's your number? They go by area codes. All right. So that's where they know right where you're at, by your area codes. That's the side of South Side that you claim. All right, next. All right, here's some more Latin Kings. Let's talk a little bit about a clique. All right, this group right here is a clique. Clique is that they are the Latin Kings, but they're on a block, and that block would be a clique. It could be that whole block, front and across the street, that'd be one clique. So it'd be a block to a block. So like on this table right here, this right here, if you lived here and on that side, you'd be a clique. Okay, and then you go across the street, that'd be a different clique. Any questions about that? All right, next. All right, this is a drive-by shooting. He's wearing blue. He's got black on. So probably Cianros,
Outside.
but he's gone. All right, next. All right, now we're going to go to a different subject. We're going to go to bikers. All right, again, I only pulled out a couple bikers out of here. One's the Hells Angels. Hells Angel is the biggest biker gang in the United States and throughout European. Okay, they're in Australia. They're in Greenland. They're pretty much worldwide. It's the biggest organization. Anybody know anybody who's a Hells Angel? No? I have a cousin who is.
Used to.
Used to. Those are bad guys. Really nice too. But they have a job to do. Next. All right, here's a tattoo of a prison. Hell's Angel. Always the same thing, tattoos mean something. Any questions about him? Next. All right, the Mongols. Mongols are up there. They're a 1%er biker gang. They're trying to make their name. They're usually up in the Chicago area, down to Texas. But again, they're out for one thing, that's to make money. So again, he's got a tattoo here of a spider web, so he's done some time. Time will also be like a brick building, the walls busting down on their chest or something like that. That would also show that they're in prison time too. All right, next. 1%er. Hell's Angel.
What does 1%er mean?
They're 1% of biker gangs that commit crimes.
Okay.
Our captain is with a motorcycle club. I don't know what it's named. Patriot Carburetors. See, but they're not 1%ers. So that's the 1%. They will have that again. That's another marking of a tattoo that shows that they belong to a gang. Okay, next. All right, these guys are the Outlaws. Again, another motorcycle gang. I've only picked the bad ones, so they're up there with Hell's Angels. All right, next. This guy right here is a Mongol tattoo. This guy is, I forget his name, but he is one of the leaders for the Mongols for the California group. There's this California patch there. He's been through all those states right there, so he's like a starter up. And he's claiming that I started up all those clubs in those areas right there. Again, there's 1%. He's got the tattoo right there. Be up in here. And a lot of these bikers, I'm not lying, are ex-military. Okay? They are. Hell's Angels started after Vietnam. A bunch of guys got together, started there. It even goes back to World War II when they came back. Okay,
What's the motive for being part of a gang?
What's the motive?
I mean, they get these 12, 13, 14-year-old kids in MS-13.
Right. That's where they'd be on their block, that clique. So it'd be like, my neighbor kid just moved in and I see him, right? I want to recruit him. I want him to go out and make money for me. Okay? So what I do is start talking to him. Right? Start saying, hey, you know what? You need some money? You just give him a little bit of money.
The reason the Hispanic gangs, the Latino gangs are using little kids is because as juveniles, when they get caught with drugs and things like that, because they let them be mules, they let them carry, they don't do the same type of prison time issues that the adults do. So they let them carry those drugs for them. Okay, and they use them for a lot of mules and distributions and things like that. So if the adults are carrying that around on the street and get caught with it, they do the harder time where the kids don't.
You'll see a lot of kids riding around on bicycles. Right? There'll be a seller, there'll be watchers on each corner, and there'll be a seller right there. Okay, standing there. Somebody will come up and go give him the money to him, and he'll go down a little bit, and the kid will come by on a bicycle and hand him the drugs.
And these kids are smart. They don't pick the kids coming from good homes. They find the kids coming from broken homes. Kids who want to identify with somebody. Kids who need a family to call their own. So they go after kids who, you know, are spending a lot of time, yeah, they're spending a lot of time on their own. You know, they're hungry. They're needing some extra cash.
Makes them feel good. Makes them feel good. They get acceptance. They feel good. They feel part of something. The family they didn't have.
Right.
What sort of crime do the biker gangs tend to be doing?
Biker gangs are in prostitution, drug trafficking, guns, you name it.
Security.
Yeah, they did security for Woodstock, actually.
Yeah.
They did.
And they do the security of, you know, we'll make sure your business is good. You
Yeah.
pay us $100 a week.
They do
We make
protection
sure.
rackets.
Yeah. They're in there. If it has to do with money, they're doing it. All right, next. Here's another one. There's another one. This is just a black motorcycle gang. Another Hell's
Why his
Angel.
pants weren't down lower?
What's that?
I thought his pants would be down lower.
Oh, no, some of them are still prideful, okay? Some of them. All right, next. There's a Mongol. You can see where they're from. The Bandinos. There's another one. Bandinos has been around since Vietnam, if I'm correct.
Where in North Carolina are the Mongols?
All over.
I've seen several North Carolina.
Right, they're all over North Carolina. Next. There's another one. Again, see, this is the tattoos. Basically, this is about tattoos, about what to look for. So if you see them, you know what's going on. Or you're in the mall, you're at Walmart, and you look around and you see.
He drives a BMW.
Yeah, he does. He's got a Beamer. He's got a lot of money. So this is just like awareness. Tattoos tell a lot. Go ahead, next. There's another Mongol. Another one. That's a six-pack right there, guys. It's the kind of six-pack I carry. Another Hell's
That's
Angel.
Bounty guy.
Yeah. Next. All right. So you got to understand what the patch are, right?
Now, refresh my memory, that 1% means those are the ones that commit crimes?
That's right. The 1% that motorcycle clubs that commit
Hard
crime,
crimes.
hard crimes. Okay, talking about prostitution.
May not have gotten caught, but they're advertising they're committing crimes.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, and they don't care. They don't care if they get pulled over. They don't care. But some of the nicest bikers I've known out there have been Hell's Angel guys that were almost.
When I was a policeman, in between one of my stints in the military service, we had a policy that dispatchers had to do a ride-along once a quarter. Go with an officer so that they were familiar with what we were doing on the street. Good policy to have. And it happened to be a day that one of the ladies dispatchers was riding with me, and we had a helmet law. And motorcycle come toward me, Hell's Angel, riding by himself. They had a woman with him. Didn't have a helmet on. So I turned around and turned my lights on. She goes, "You're gonna stop him?" I said, "Well, of course I'm gonna stop him. But he's a Hell's Angel." He's wearing colors. So he doesn't have a helmet on. But he's a Hell's Angel. I said, "Well, he put his pants on this morning just like I did. You know, what the hell, you know?" So I pulled him over and walked up there, and he was very, very pleasant. He said, "Officer, why'd you stop me?" And I said, "Well, you're not wearing your helmet." And he kept his hands where I could see them. Now, you gotta be careful with these motorcycles, because even in their handlebars, they can have a shotgun round ready to go off, built inside the handle of the motorcycle where they can actually fire that.
Wow.
So, yeah, they can. You gotta be careful with these guys where you're standing, just like on a regular car, you gotta be careful.
Or he has a blade inside there.
And he says, "Do you mind if I get a magazine out?" I said, "Go ahead." So he got off his bike and got a magazine out, and it was, of course, Motorcycle Magazine. And he said, I went through here before I took my trip from Los Angeles, and it lists the places where you can and cannot wear helmets. And here, in the state of Oregon, it says you don't have to wear a helmet. And I said, "Well, that is true up until January 1st, when the helmet law came into effect." And I said, "I can see your magazine is outdated." He said, "Oh, shit." I said, "But I see you have helmets with you." He said, "Yes, sir, I do. I would appreciate it if you wear your helmets the rest of the way through the state of Oregon." He said, "Okay, no problem." They put them on. I said, "Now you have a nice day." And that's all there was to it. Just being a police officer doesn't mean you gotta be an asshole, right?
That's right.
He was very pleasant. He had a good reason why he wasn't wearing it.
He showed you that he did his research.
He showed me that he had done some research and such.
He was courteous.
Huh?
He was courteous.
He was very pleasant, very courteous, and I let him go. But you know, you're saying, they're not all jerks. Well, you know, and he's probably a pretty bad guy at times. But it's very rare to run across these guys wearing colors like that alone. Very rare. But he could have just left a group, could have been meeting up with a group, I don't know. He was with his girl, but point was, he wasn't an ass. Why should I be one?
Right. I would, and this is just my opinion, I would let a motorcycle guy drove my clique or my group before I would a Northaniel, a Serrano,
Of course.
or Blood in their crib.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why. It's not because he's white, because he has respect.
Yeah, but it showed the dispatcher was scared to death because of a stigma of motorcycles. And so what are you scared for? He's just a guy. We
He's one
do
of
a
the
job,
Right.
he's violating like anybody else is violating, of course you pull him over, you know, that's what we do,
Right.
you know? And we normally, I'm in the car alone, and I would still pull him over, because you're a dispatcher, you're not armed or anything, you can't do anything for me, but,
Right.
you know. But back to what you say, these guys can be pretty nice guys.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I have a cousin that's a Hell's Angel, and he's high up there in rank. So, but every time I've met him, he's a sweetheart. So,
But they are straight up as well, because when I was a deep cover narcotics officer, I worked with drugs and stuff with these guys, they are straight up business. They won't screw you over, they're straight up, cash, dope, done, gone.
yeah, as long as you're straight.
As long as you're straight up with them, they're straight up with you, and I bought a lot of drugs off these
What
guys.
about the MS-13? I'd say probably not that way.
No.
I dealt with Mexican mafia, had a price on my head for a lot of years, but not with MS-13, the actual Mexican mafia cartel guys. Out of the Las Vegas area, Arizona, New Mexico, California. These guys were actually out of Mexico, not El Salvador. And you talk about some scary people to deal with. They're not straight up. They're scary to deal with. They just, especially when you get into big loads of dope, when you worked your way up from a little small package to trunk loads of shit, they're scary people.
Cut your throat to watch you bleed.
Yeah,
Huh? Oh, they just don't care. They get one little inkling that something's wrong, they're just gonna kill you.
yeah, they just don't care, flat out don't care.
MS-13 too will mark runners in inconspicuous places. So it may be a small tattoo on their shoulder, it may be, you know, at their waistline where it's usually covered up. And it's so that if they're running, they can flash that, it's like a badge. And oftentimes, if you accidentally see that badge, that's enough reason for them to kill you.
But there's been 2 times I've almost gotten killed because of the FBI, more so than bad guys.
Yeah.
Case in point with MS-13.
Bastards.
I worked at ConAgra Foods in Marshall, Missouri. Was in the locker room changing out, and one of the girls had an MS-13 on her rib cage. And as she pulled off her uniform jacket for the night, her shirt came up and I could see it. And she saw that I saw it, and she looked at me, she pointed to her eye, and she pointed to me, and she made the hush signal across her mouth. And then she pointed back to me and she made the slash across my throat. Meaning, I saw you see, you say anything and you're dead, you're gone.
Go a little bit back, since we're talking about that, I have a few stories. One time at the mall, we had problems with these gang members coming in, and we just escort them out. We did not mess with them, we were tired of them. And we just escort them right up to the door. We don't go out to the parking lot with them, just right up to the door, and we'll stand there. And if they start looking like they're gonna come in, we notify dispatch, our dispatch notify the local PD, and they will spawn quick. And these guys just kept on saying, "Why don't you guys come out to the car? Come out to the car. Why don't you guys come out to the car?" I said, "I ain't going to your car. I know what's in your car. I'm going home tonight."
What was in the
Bye.
car?
He had a gun.
Okay.
So what?
He wanted to get me up close enough so he can get it. and
Oh,
shoot
so
me.
they didn't have a gun with them in the mall?
No, they didn't.
You know what was funny about the Mexicans though? They deal a lot with meth, you know, and the cooks are white, cause the Mexicans ain't stupid. They got
What's
these
the
white
cook for
cooks
meth?
and they got burns and crap all over their arms. I'm sitting there dealing with a talking to the cook and he's sitting there squeezing shit and it's spurting all over the place, and get the hell away.
And that goes in the crack, and then next thing you know, somebody's snorting it.
Oh,
and
man.
It's a mess. All right, next one. All right, now. we're
Hey,
dealing with
Snoop.
Snoop Dogg. Now we're talking about Crips, and yes, Snoop Dogg is a Crip. Okay, just if you wanna know.
I thought they were red.
Huh?
That's what.
Oh, blood.
Those are
okay.
Bloods. Okay, Crips are all in blue. And if I get this right, Burger King stands for Blood Killers. BK, Blood Killers. McDonald's is Crip Killer. Let's see, if you take the M, yeah, that's what I was told.
So
Okay?
some of them
So-
won't eat at Burger King and others won't eat at McDonald's?
That's right.
Okay.
So if you go to Burger King, you're going to see Crips because it's blood killers. So they're going to kill the Bloods. That's right. Yeah. And Taco Bell, they all eat at Taco Bell. All right.
They get a dog.
Even MS-13 don't eat at Taco Bell. All right. Now we're going to talk a little bit about black gangs. Black gangs are strictly black. Okay, they will let in half-breeds. Half-breeds is usually the mom is white. If the dad is white, they won't let you in. They won't let him in. The mom has to be white. The dad has to be black. Okay, you guys see a little thing going on here?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So these are Crips. I grew up in a Crip area in elementary school. I got to know one of the head guys really good. His name is Del Roddy. Grew up with them. I was able to hang with them. I couldn't become a member because I was white, but I got to hang with them. Okay, next. Now here you got Blood. You got Crip. Anybody know who this guy right here is? He's a rapper.
musician?
Huh?
A rap musician?
Yes, he is. That's Ice-T, or Ice Cube. Sorry, that's Ice Cube, and he's sporting the cross. Now, believe it or not, if you take these two gangs, the Bloods and the Crips, and you get them together, right? They'd be one hell of a gang to deal with, because there's a lot of blacks out there, especially like in California. There's probably more blacks than there is Mexicans. Back in the 90s, I don't know that now. Right, because I've been gone for so long. So again, he's a Crip, he's got a Blood, and that's Ice Cube. And this is when they got together and formed that union, that ceasefire thing. This is where this picture comes from. Next. Okay, you know who this is, right? These are all Bloods, right here. Bandanas, shirts, hitting the signs, pants are down past their butts. He's got a red belt on right there. No Mexican will be in the Bloods or the Crips.
They're black.
They're blacks only. Next. All right. Hey, Alex, since you're here, you want to give us a little briefing about this one?
Yeah, we don't like bigots.
All right. The reason why, now there's a reason, if you look at the picture of the gangs, right? They're racist. They are. Mexicans only have Mexicans. Blacks only have blacks. Your true biker gangs only have whites. Okay? So if you notice that they are prejudiced.
There's no ethnic groups in Hell's Angels? They're all white?
No, they're all white. All white. All right, Antifa. I put Antifa on here because last report that I got, and I try to keep up on these guys, they're all white.
They're all what?
White.
White?
They're all white.
They are not.
That's the last report I got, and I just watched something not too long ago. But we'll go on. Go ahead. Here's an old Hell's Angel right here. Next. There you go, Antifa. Antifa's all age.
They have some blacks mixed in, and that's why some of the mainstream media tries to say it's racist to
Put them down.
put them down and they show the few blacks that are in Antifa, the very few. And that's why they try to say it's racist to go against Antifa,
because
and when we know the majority is white.
Right, that's why they had, if I'm correct, Black Pride, is it?
Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, Black Lives Matter joining up with them at a lot of the rallies, so they show that they're not racist. But I'm a racist, you're a racist, because we don't believe the same way they believe.
But if you take the old German fascist flag and their flag,
Right,
it's exactly the same.
it is. They're the brown shirts, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Those are Hitler's, the beginning of Hitler's Nazism. That was the brown shirts. Okay, next. And here's some just Antifa logos. This is what they look like. The bandanas around their faces. They all wear black and red. So again, are they a gang? They're sporting the colors,
Of course they are.
but they don't. So far, they haven't been clarified as a gang yet.
Label that.
Yeah, it's labeled. Thank you, Dave. Go ahead, next. All right, I did some research. This is a few things I found about the Chinese or the Asian mafia gangs. Okay, I didn't have hardly any in the town I was in, so I don't know that much about them.
They're very quiet.
Yes, and they don't show tattoos that much. They're all, I think I have one in here that shows some, but they're not sleeve. They're just body from the neck down. But yeah, they are very quiet. They make, you couldn't even tell. They'd be walking down the street and you just think he's just another Asian kid. Next. There's another one. There's another motorcycle gang.
The
This is
big ones
black.
that you won't see on the west so much yet, but they really big on the east coast, and they're starting to come west, or they had been, is the Russians.
Yeah. Now, a year ago, I worked for Cedar County Sheriff's Department as a CO, and that's one thing I asked him. I said, okay, what gangs we have here? This is what I've seen in Springfield. He goes, well, Russian Mafia is actually they have a little thing going on in Bolivar.
Yeah, the Russians are starting to come out.
Yeah. Asians are in Joplin. Okay. But we go to Nevada a lot, and there's a little Pilot store there. And I can go in there and I could tell runners that are doing the runs from Texas up north. They're doing the drug runs. They're easy to spot. They're driving the really nice cars. They got the really nice rings. They're sporting themselves. So, next. All right, again, we have Bloods. They're showing it off. I like to chase after this guy. I could probably catch him. All right, next. Okay, here we go. These are gel tattoos for the, what do they call it? The whites.
Skinhead.
No, they're different in prison.
Says hood.
Man, sorry about that. I had a brain fart.
Nazi.
They're Nazi. They're not even Nazis, but they have Nazi tattoos.
Aryan Brotherhood?
Thank you. Aryan Brotherhood. Thank you very much. All right, this is Aryan Brotherhood. They have the Confederate flag. He's got the swastika, the S's right there. Thought I saw something else on this guy. His lightning bolts. Yeah, then he's got the cross right there, same area. So again, they will have it. They all have Thor tattoos or the hammers. Next. And everybody knows who these guys. You would think that this right here was the oldest gang in the United States, but they're not. After I showed this one video of them, if you got time, they're not. But again, they were out there doing what? They're terrorizing blacks. So here you go. Bloods again, showing it off. Look at the necklaces. That's something that they would wear. Next. And here you go, another Asian gang. It's about the only one that I actually found that they all looked alike. So They all sport the same haircut, they all this look. Okay, next. All right, this girl right here. Anybody see this on YouTube?
Yeah, yeah.
You seen it? No, it's funny. This is her Facebook page. Very sweet, innocent girl. This is her high school. This is what happened when she went to college. Okay? In the video, it's been a while since I've seen this, so please, if I'm right,
Can you send us out a link to it?
if I can find it.
Okay. The name of it?
They call this girl Moldy Locks. So all you have to do is search Moldy Locks. and you'll see-
MOLDY?
Yeah.
All right, in the
You'll see
video,
what happens.
He's interested now, man.
she is
He likes
with
this stuff.
another guy. And if I'm right, they're up in the front lines and they're just going. And if I'm right, the big guy gets knocked on his butt, doesn't he? He gets hit, if I'm right. And then she gets popped in the nose.
Yeah.
Yeah, this conservative guy just wails
Right,
at her
and I
face.
think he's a part of the Christian group, I forget the name of them, Poor Boys, Proud Boys.
Proud Boys.
Yeah, this is
Oh.
part of the Proud Boy movement. But yeah, she's with this guy. The guy was like hitting a bunch of people, and out of nowhere, this one guy comes in, boom, hits him. He goes to the ground, and with his other hand, if I'm correct, punches her right in the nose, and she goes down.
Well, before you get any further on this, the Aryan Brotherhood, skinheads, of course, completely separate. The Aryan Brotherhood is a much more organized gang and much more violent gang than a skinhead's ever thought of being.
Yeah. But again, they recruit my son. I have an older son that just got out of prison, and he went back in. He made it for 2 weeks. He got out for 2 weeks and went back in on a drug charge. But he's been in and out of prison since he was 19 years old.
Man, everybody you know is either a gang member or in prison. Man, what is wrong with you?
Because we were roulette.
DNA thing or something or what?
No, and I'm like, I don't know. I've gotten in trouble. I got DUI one time in my life, and that was enough for me. I did my time. I did the crime. I did the time, and so I'm all good now.
I'm just kidding, man.
No,
Go ahead.
I don't care. I mean, it's just one of those things. But again, these are sweet, innocent kids. They're in and up, getting their brains washed.
Yeah, college,
Think-
college or
Yeah, the
Liberal.
colleges, liberals.
Is it a journalism major?
I don't know. I don't know.
Liberal arts major.
But again, I brought this up because, look, she's a sweet girl. And then she gets her nose broken because she thinks that what she's doing is right. And she does think that what she's doing is right.
Yeah.
Something wrong there. Next. Again, here we go, Crips. You see the C. And then there's a C. And then, yeah. All right, next. Again, this is their choice of weapons now, guys. This is a slingshot. And they are hitting, they're using,
ball pens.
Bike locks.
No, that one guy used bike lock on chain.
yeah.
Cable.
So they're slowly getting violent. I heard this one report, it's gonna be, somebody's gonna do something stupid on one of the sides.
All it takes, when you have these groups together, if somebody wants to make things kick off, there's little secrets that we used to teach this stuff. You take a firecracker or an M80, firecrackers work good because they're small. Just roll them in Elmer's glue and they roll them in BBs. Because there's cops all over the place, right? Now light those and throw them in the crowd. They hear the bang, people get hurt because the BBs hit them. They think the cops are shooting when a few of these go off. So they think the police are shooting or somebody's shooting and the whole crowd goes off. That's the way to instigate violence in these crowds. Very simple way to do it. So they get instigators that can get into parts of these crowds to do stuff like that. That's all it takes.
Yeah.
Very simple ways to do it.
But lately I haven't heard that much about Antifa. I heard that they're supposed to work their way down to the borders to start trouble down there at the borders to get things rolling there, but haven't heard anything about that.
I was really expecting Black Lives Matter to really heat up this summer. Blacks tend to riot in summer. And I thought before the election, they were gonna be pulling a bunch of shit, and they were really pretty quiet.
Won't be doing too much now, it's too cold for them.
Well, I know that. But, you know, I mean, St. Louis, the hell, and East St. Louis, East St. Louis,
But also,
that's not too far from us.
but also black rifles matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Mine's camoed.
I wanna hear about,
In the wintertime, man, they stay inside, it's cold.
I wanna hear about the Amish and Mennonite gangs.
Oh, okay. Next. Is that it? Oh, okay.
Back one.
All right, here's again. Black.
Those are
Everybody
vegans,
knows.
man.
Huh?
Those are vegans, look how skinny they are.
They are.
I know,
Yeah.
I know.
They don't like to eat, they don't believe in eating meat.
They
So
might be
vegans?
cross,
They're
No,
a terrorist group now?
Antifa.
Antifa.
Oh,
they
Antifa.
might be cross-country runners also.
Next. Let's go ahead and do the next one.
We got hit here.
All right, this is a protest, and if I'm right, that's a Canadian flag.
Uh-huh.
So this has happened up in Canada. So again, I do believe these are Antifa, but I don't know what's going on. It's just a picture I found when I Googled Antifa. This is one of the pictures. Again, they are getting violent. And again,
KKK.
KKK.
I saw that movie.
Did you? Antifa.
Somebody could make a movie, Antifa meets KKK.
You know, recently with Antifa, they were in New York when the Proud Boys were up there,
Yes.
and basically what happened was Proud Boys left their meeting center, and then Antifa attacked them, and the Proud Boys just defended themselves against these guys attacking them. And now, you know, the FBI and the police are all going after the Proud Boys and prosecuting them, but nothing's happened to Antifa. And so, if you look at Antifa, they're connected with the Southern Poverty Law Center.
Yes.
And so those guys have direct links with the FBI.
Right.
So the FBI, through the SPLC, is guiding Antifa. So
protecting them.
it's frankly a deep state, you know, it's just a gang of the deep state in the end.
Again, it's
Sure, originally they were gonna try to label the Proud Boys as a
Domestic
But they
terrorists.
dropped it. They said, no.
But it doesn't matter because they're still prosecuting them. So it's like, you know, here we are, we've got.
But I thought even covering your face in protest like Antifa does is against the law.
in most
It
states.
doesn't matter though because they still don't prosecute
What if,
them.
And-
what if they're Muslim? And they're
Prosecute.
wearing the
Prosecute.
full hijab or full burqa or whatnot.
I
And
know.
one thing that they're getting away with is, see the guy in the blue mask?
Yeah.
Those are, air restrictor masks that you can buy at like Academy.
Mhm.
And what they're claiming is, they wear those to help build endurance.
Huh.
And so
help what?
they're not covering their faces to hide themselves, they're wearing the masks to help build endurance, lung endurance.
Yeah, because they're like, if you're like running
That's what
like a
Jesse
mile,
James did
but
when
you're
he visited
walking,
the bank,
it
wasn't it?
stops your airflow, so. All right, again, these are Crips. Warlocks, another biker gang. And here you go. I do believe that's a police officer.
Looks like-
Antifa?
What
Antifa.
was that he was wielding there?
It was a club with,
Looked like a pretty serious one.
yeah, it was a flagpole.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah, flagpoles are armored.
again, female, male. Females wear this. I don't know. I'm just playing. I don't know. But yeah, guys wear this. to hide
Alex,
their
can you weigh in
mustache.
on that?